We've had a lot of speeches, so believe it or not, I'm not going to be all that long. First thing I want to say is there a classier group of guys that just spoke? I mean, I coached for 45 years, high school and college. Some great guys and some great teams. Obviously, the 2013 team, we know those guys. The 2014 that won the national championship. But this is as classy a group as I've ever coached. So you guys, awesome, and all the best as you move on to what's next in your lives. Next, I need to defend myself. Sebastian. I have to admit, the stories are true. In fact, if he hadn't said something, as I told Jay in the back, we'd have been in Wisconsin. There was no doubt about that. I mean, we were gone. I mean, we were cruising. And then the second part of the story is, he made the comment that when he first came into school, he didn't know where the ball was going. The other part of that story is, and it's so true, Walter and I had no clue where the ball was going. No, and I will say this, he's worked that out beautifully and he's become a hell of a player, so well done. Yes. So next on my list is Colin Morikawa. I coached for 37 years. I saw a lot of great players, no doubt about it. But I want to put in perspective what Colin has done. I'm not going to go through all the awards and all the honors. What I'm going to say is, in the history of this program, he is going to be the first four-time All-American. The first. Okay? When you put what Colin's accomplished, breaking the stroke average record last year, I'm not sure if you did it again this year. I know you were close. You're not done yet. But what I'll say is, when you put this in total perspective, he is one of the greatest players in the history of college golf. That is Colin Morikawa. Come on! Boy, you guys slow on that one. I guess maybe we had too many speeches. No. So, I'm going to cut to the chase. I had a few other things, but I know it's getting late. We've had a lot of comments about thanking the Cal Golf Committee and what the committee has done, whether it's Joe or Frank. I mean, the people all around here have been absolutely fantastic. But I brought this tonight. I'm not much on props, those of you that have been here. It's the first time I've ever brought something like this. I hope every one of you has one of these. If you haven't, find one and read through it. This is the history of this program going back to 1980. But it's much more than that. The backside of this program tells the history of this program since 1980. But that history is also opportunity. The opportunities that people in here, key people, whether it's Frank or Bob or Joe or Ken, people in the committee, you guys have done this. You guys have done all of this incredible history. A national championship, players playing in Augusta, Pac-10, Pac-12 champions. All of the things that are in the back 7, 8, 9, 10 pages of this. A friend of mine called me the other day, a great friend of ours. Ken, it was Paul Zinn. And he asked me if I had gone through this. And in all honesty, I hadn't really gone through it in a major way. I kind of shuffled through it, but Kyle, where are you? This guy. I know I was a pain in the butt doing this thing with him, and I'm sure Walter's an even bigger pain in the butt doing this thing.
He's not.
Kyle, you had a chance to come. You did it again. The bottom line is, this is about as well done as you could ever get. And this guy gets a ton of credit, and all of the guys in here owe thanks to so many of you that are in here, and the guys that are leaving this program. For me, Walter mentioned it, this is my last recruiting class. There's a fifth one in this class, it's Jamie Cheatham. But I'll say it again. You guys provided the opportunity for these young men to excel in golf and in the classroom. This isn't just about golf. When Frank and I first met in February 1980, the idea was simple: to put together a golf program that the University of California could be proud of. And by the way, it was great that Jim was here tonight, Jim Knowlton, and it's also great that Jay is here tonight, Jay John, because we didn't have much of that type of support. So those of you that have been around, you know that type of support was pretty much non-existent for a long time. But in the end, this has worked beautifully, and the proof is all right here. And those of us in the firing line, the guys that were teeing it up and the guys that were coaching them, we all have you to thank. So on that note, I've said it many times, go Bears.
Go Bears. Go Bears.